Okay, hello, good evening. It's Monday for you guys, that is. It's me from like 5 minutes after the last pre-recording. I'm doing these in succession, yeah. How have you guys been? I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Thanks for stopping by today. Thank you. And I hope that today's pre-recording will be able to, accompany you guys well as well, just as the last was. Hope that it's interesting for you guys too, because yeah, I rarely play story games on stream. Mostly because every time I do play story games, I'll have to, like, whenever someone misses like a stream or if they come late, I will have to like repeat the whole story. And I feel like anyone who misses like a stream and falls really far behind the story might feel bad too. So usually I don't do story games on stream. I used to do them a lot though. When I started streaming, I actually played a lot of story games on stream. Games like, I think I did play DDLC on stream, Doki Doki Literature Club. I did play Zero Escape. I played some Danganronpa. I played some Zero Escape as well. So yeah, used to play a lot of story games back then. Nowadays, you guys know me as the Gacha Goblin. Okay, hope you all have had a great Monday so far. I know it's the start of a week and it's probably very, tiring and stuff. I'm actually, at around this time, I should probably be back in Singapore already, I think. But yeah, probably might not have the energy to stream. So, hope that you guys will still enjoy this pre-recorded stream, and I'll be back to stream soon. Not sure exactly when. I don't know if I'll be able to tell you guys exactly when, because this is me from like almost 1 week ago. This is me from almost 1 week ago of your current time speaking. But yeah, we'll play a little bit of Ace Attorney today, and we'll try to make a little bit more progress. Hope you guys enjoyed the first part, and today we'll explore more into the story. I want to find out what happens to Kazuma because damn, so sad. Okay, your deduction just now. So we're still talking to this Herlock Sholmes guy, who I guess is a wannabe detective, and we'll see what happens. Okay, your deduction just now. Can we talk about your deduction before? The things you concluded about me, I mean. The now famously accurate troubling predicament you find yourself in? Actually, it was the other details that I was more hoping to discuss. You know, the merciless Russian revolutionary and assassin of 16 part? Yes, the more sordid details. It was a fairly commonplace deduction. What do you mean deduction? How can you deduce that from this room? Here we have this morning's paper. So it was just what you read on the newspaper. Oh my god, this man. The main headline reads, Revolutionary villain Bolshevik flees Russia via Shanghai. Okay. This vessel made a port call at Shanghai yesterday, and last night the young Russian was murdered. Since when was Kazuma a Russian? It sounds like Mr. Sholmes has concluded he was Russian because of what Kazuma-sama wrote on the floor. It was a simple act of reasoning to realize that the culprit of this crime was the same merciless revolutionary. One who would kill the very man who helped him to escape after his true identity was discovered. Yes, you. Villain Bolshevik. No. How could it be me? I like how the portrait is also completely different from how our main character looks as well. I don't look anything like this man. Just look at his face. Deductions, by the way. Well, you are a fearsome revolutionary after all. Therefore, you have no doubt learned to revolutionize your appearance as well. I'm dead. Please. And I might add, your name does not appear on the ship's passenger list. Need I say more? Well, that's because I'm a stowaway. What about the other details? The 16 victims of assassination and blowing up the Crystal Tower. Ah yes, the journalist clearly interviewed the man and printed all those particulars in the article. The deeds the man has perpetrated thus far and those he is plotting. Yes, everything about this revolutionary Bolshevik was included. There can be no mistake. Do revolutionaries usually agree to interviews with newspaper reporters, I wonder? And what about the part where you said I was just returning from Afghanistan? Also quite clearly stated here in the article. Bolshevik is recently returned after a period of subversive activities in the war-torn region of Afghanistan. Where even is it anyway? This Afghanistan place. Here, take the paper for yourself, as a little memento of this great deduction. Thank you. I've absorbed all that is of interest to me within its pages, but I see no rubbish bin nearby. So I'm the rubbish bin? Okay. And you may find the article on the back page of interest as well. On the back? Cast your eye over it sometime if the interest takes you, though you may need someone to interpret. It's all written in Russian. I couldn't hope to read it. But I suppose it wouldn't hurt just to glance at the article. Maybe there might be a picture or two. Okay. Right, the last one. What you were just investigating. Before we started talking, you were examining Kazuma's desk, weren't you? Kazuma? Ah, yes, the victim. Did you notice anything useful? Anything at all? Observe for a moment the desktop of the victim. Okay. We see that the victim was engaged in penning some text. London diary. Kazuma was keeping notes of the trip. Ah, but I don't think you should read his private writings. It could upset people. Tragic. And something you ought to perhaps elucidate before the act of reading. You mean you've read it already? It is my business to know what other people do not. Yes, believe it or not, I know a smattering of Japanese. Oh, I see. Well, you're about to know what a Susato takedown is. Huh? If she doesn't take him down. Susato-san? Aren't you going to throw the detective with one of your trademark takedowns? I'm sorry, Naruhodo-san. What on earth do you mean? Life is so unfair. Anyway, to return to the matter at hand, namely this diary belonging to the victim. It would appear the final sentence is incomplete, as if the author were cut short. Tell me, what is the nature of the writing? Pray be precise as to details. Oh, but I thought you knew Japanese? A smattering, dear boy, a smattering. Sayonara, bonsai, mikado, nado nado. I trust you're suitably impressed. But this diary is littered with complicated looking characters, of which I can read precisely none. So what was all that showing off about before then? If you would be so kind as to show me, I would be happy to read it to you, Mr. Scholz. I'm much obliged, my dear madam. The final entry here in Kazuma-sama's diary consists of just 2 short sentences. The first reads, 1:23 a.m. I can hear a faint whistling sound. A whistling sound? These are very deep waters. Pray, go on. The second sentence reads, 1:35 a.m. What looks like some sort of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill. Speckled band. Oh, wait, speckled band was... That was what they called the snake in the cutscene, right? At the start of the second episode. What on earth does that mean? Was Kazuma bitten by a snake? I had I have no idea. I've never heard that expression before. What if the snake was dangled from the ventilator grill to bite the person who would be on the bed? I don't know. I've never heard that expression before. The ventilator grill, you say? The man was presumably referring, yeah, to the hole up there. To the lattice there on the wall, which connects to the adjoining cabin. I guess we need to investigate the other cabin as well. Kazuma's diary has been entered into the court record. Whistling might be, you know, like the snake charmer thing. So I believe I've given you enough to consider for the time being, at least. Ah, do you have something, do you have somewhere to go? As it happens, the victim's writing in his diary have piqued my interest. The matter warrants further investigation, I believe. And if I'm still too long, the seasickness takes hold. So he's seasick. Oh, I suppose you're thinking of investigating the cabin next door, which the ventilator connects to? Great detectives are a curious breed. Our minds rebel at stagnation. We crave mental exaltation. So yes, I intend to investigate. Hence the truth will become clear soon enough. Do you think perhaps that we could go with you? No, that would be somewhat complicated. What? But why? A simple glance at your wrists should reveal the answer. No. Oh, these. After all, you're the prime suspect in this matter. No? There's no point trying to turn it into a question. You're the one who decided I was the culprit in the first place. Whatever do you mean? I have no recollection of naming you as the culprit at any point. Oh. You must be joking. You just said it only a moment ago. Dear me, you are clearly misguided. I would have no cause to say such a thing. Well, actually, Mr. Sholmes, I did hear you say that too. You're quite sure? Well, that's very strange. This guy, what is he doing? I wouldn't have said you had the face of a criminal, you know? Not really. So, what, were you looking at my knees before? Some great detective you are. Well, anyway, that was then and this is now. What do you mean? What I mean, sir, is this. If you are the culprit, then you must play the part more convincingly. Roll over and accept your fate. Now he's just being plain rude. This guy is so annoying. And off he goes, having just laughed in my face. His sense of humor is as twisted as his name. Naruhodo-san, what are you just standing there for? We must go and investigate the cabin next door as well. Aren't you forgetting something? What about these? There's no way I can... Hiya! Oh, does she like split in two? What? After Kazuma-sama spent his dying moments struggling to leave us a clue, you're willing to give up? You're just going to roll over and accept your fate? Ugh, as if you gave me any chance in the rolling over part. I love this game so far. It's so whack. This series is always so whack. I think we still have some investigation to finish off in here first, don't we? Let's carry on. Let's carry on examining what we can in this cabin while we wait for a chance to slip next door. Good idea. The situation doesn't look good for me, but there are still things I can do to help myself. And I owe it to Kazuma to do everything I can to find a way out of this and bring the real culprit to justice. Oh, there's more crewmen now? Is something wrong, Naruhodo-san? Oh, no, it's just that crewman standing by the door. I can't help feeling like I've seen him somewhere before. Yeah, we saw it in the cutscene as well. That's Inspector Hosonaga. Why is he here? The guy in the like the previous episode who was coughing blood all the time. Oh yes, you're right. He does look familiar. Excuse me, sir. Yes? What can I do for you? I recognize that face, but it can't be. Oh, yeah, there we go. Um, 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 it is. I I didn't know you were here, Inspector Hosonaga. Okay, wipes away the blood. Hello again. What are you doing here? I think that should be my line. I was so stunned when I saw you, my heart stopped. Nearly stopped, I hope. I received some special orders to go undercover again. He's undercover again. As a member of the crew and board this ship. Again? You certainly seem to enjoy undercover work, Inspector. If there's anything I can do to help you, please ask. I never expected to see this man on board, but perhaps his presence can help me out of this hopeless situation. Okay, let's converse with him. Special orders. So what are your special orders this time, Inspector? Yes, and why are you dressed as a member of the crew? Okay. I'm so sorry. Hmm? He cannot disclose? This is all my fault. I take full responsibility. For what? My orders were to act as Asogi-san's bodyguard. Oh no. Asogi-san, for those of you who are watching, like, started watching from, like, the pre-recording on Thursday. Asogi is Kazuma's last name. Kazuma's last name, yeah. It was Minister of Justice Jigoku. Okay, what kind of name is this? Jigoku means hell, yeah, in Japanese. Why though? Who pushed for this overseas study tour to go ahead. And he entrusted me with ensuring that Asogi-san reached Great Britain without being assassinated. Assassinated? How could that even have been a possibility? I'm not sure. But these are complicated times. There are tensions between the world's greatest powers. Minister Jigoku said we should be prepared for all eventualities. This is incredible. I don't believe it. Kazuma-sama was assassinated? Obviously, we couldn't give Asogi-san a visible security escort. Which is why I'm undercover now, posing as one of the crew. I see. And I didn't take my eyes off him the entire time we've been on board, from morning until night every day. But I never imagined it would happen here, inside his own cabin, not here on the first class deck. I failed miserably at my assignment, and Asogi-san is dead as a result. I'm a disgrace. All I can do is humbly apologize. Inspector. So if there's anything at all I can do to help now, just say the word. Yeah, we got an ally. Permission to investigate. Okay. We're doing what we can to investigate Kazuma's death ourselves. I thought you might be. You didn't do it, did you? You're not the killer? Of course not. We'd really like to investigate the cabin next door. Yes, so we need to be allowed out of this cabin. Oh no, we can't do that. I'm sorry. What? You've been deemed a risk to the ship's safety. If you move to even touch the handle of the cabin door? That stormy looking seaman there would surely snap your neck in two. I suppose I'm not just a stowaway now. They think I'm a murderer as well. Would it be possible to give me something to work with, do you think? I'm going to need something persuasive. What do you mean? If I had a solid reason why the next door cabin should be investigated, for example, I'd do everything I could to persuade the captain to allow it. Really, I'd lay my life on the line if I had to. But I don't see how. There may be a way. What? Really? Think of how you tried to persuade me of your innocence, Naruhodo-san. By presenting me with a piece of evidence that you already had in your possession. Evidence? Shoko? Oh, no, shoko is proof, sorry. What is evidence in Japanese? Oops. It's just the same as when you are in court. You must have done it many times during your trial. Simply select the present panel and choose some evidence that Inspector Hosonaga could use. So, evidence that would give us a viable reason to investigate the next door cabin, is it? Alright, yes. I think I might know what we can use. Let's see if I can present the detective with the evidence he needs to persuade the captain. It's probably Kazuma's journal, right? Wait. Do I just... Oh, okay, present. Try the journal. Yeah. Speckled band. I don't think it's this picture. Oh. No way we just present the same thing, right? Oh wait, I can see... Oh, can I... Oh, Can I not turn it around? Oh, it doesn't say anything. I try to present this. Ah, this is the paper seal that was stuck over the wardrobe doors this morning, isn't it? That's right, to try to stop the cabin steward opening it and opening up and discovering me. Wouldn't it have been better to write it in English if you didn't know Russian? Maybe, but Ofuda paper amulets like this are a part of our culture, Inspector. And I thought if I made it look creepy enough, people would be too scared to want to look inside. He even wrote it in katakana instead. So it isn't easy being a stowaway, is it? Okay, I guess that was the wrong one. This one should be Kazuma's diary. What's that? It's Kazuma's diary. Just before he died, Kazuma-sama wrote something rather strange in his diary. Strange? In what way? He wrote, what looks like some kind of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill. A speckled band? That is strange. Yes, we're still trying to work out what he meant by that. But what I'd like to know is... Don't tell me. The ventilator, is it? You're very astute, Inspector. He's an inspector. I guess he would be. The ventilator clearly joins to the next door cabin. That's right. So if we could investigate in there, we might be able to work out what the speckled band was. Alright then. I can't leave this cabin at the moment. I'm stuck here until we arrive at the next port. The captain has given me strict orders to guard the scene of the crime, you see. I'll have to entrust the investigation to you. Really? You're willing to do that? Yes, as long as you don't leave the first class cabin area. I'm afraid I can't remove those handcuffs, though. But what about the captain? Aren't you going against his direct orders? He said the crime scene, right? Not me. We're finding loopholes. I'm a man of my word. And I promise you that I'll lay my life on the line if that's what it takes to convince the captain. After all, I failed to keep Asogi-san safe. This is the least I can do. Oh, he's like our ally now. He used to be against us in the previous, the trial. Let's seize the moment then, Naruhodo-san. Just select move and we can leave this cabin at last. Move. Alright, let's see what we can find out. Time to go. Move. Back. Let's go move to first class passageway. Okay. The previous trial didn't have you know, like exploring and talking to people and stuff like that. So we were just thrown into it immediately. So I guess this one is gonna be a little longer. Yeah, but I'm looking forward to it because it means that there's more that you can find. 9th January, 7:48 a.m. SS Buria, first class cabin passageway. Whew, I'm finally out of that cabin. I have to admit, this isn't quite what I was expecting. It's less spacious out here than I thought it would be. This is the most luxurious accommodation. Yes, indeed. Kazuma-sama was being sent on this study tour by the government. That's why he was being put up in the first class cabin. Even still, this is about twice as large as my accommodation in steerage. Really? That must be off. Oh, that's another dude. That's another crewman keeping watch. And he looks enormous, even if he's sitting down. The door next to him leads to the second class accommodation. I suppose he's making sure that no one comes in here who shouldn't. I suppose, like, people in handcuffs? Oh, we got a map? Naruhodo-san, you look like a little boy visiting a toy shop for the first time. I would have thought you'd be used to the ship by now. We've been at sea for 2 weeks already, but I've also been in the wardrobe for 2 weeks. Oh yes, I know. But the thing is, I was inside Kazuma's trunk when I first came aboard. And ever since then, I've just been shut up inside that little wardrobe. It must have been a very trying time for you. Please don't give me that pitying look. Okay, I guess we look around. We can talk to him first. Excuse me, but could I ask you something? You little stowaway murderer. That wasn't a good start, was it? Alright, let me try instead. Good day, Mr. Sailor. I'm so sorry to trouble you, but could I perhaps ask something of you? You little third-class lady's maid? Wow. So rude. This guy, very rude. We seem to have caught this sailor on a bad day, says Suzano-san. I'm not sailor. My mother gave me name. I am senior crewman, Beef Stroganoff. Okay. I think that's probably like a pun or something, but I don't understand it. The best thing is just to avoid eye contact, I think. Yeah. Oh, beef stroganoff. Beef stroganoff. It's the name of a dish. The name of like some beef stew. Beef stroganoff. Oh my god. The puns in this game are so good. Okay, first class cabin area. Mr. Stroganoff, about this first class cabin area. Here we are in finest part of Buria steamship for very important persons. What sort of very important persons? Government officials, kings and queens traveling in secret, many important persons. That is why I am always guarding this place. Gosh, that's amazing. But somehow I let stupid stowaway inside. Oh no, I'm stupid. I want to pick you up and throw you in ocean. But Stroganoff is not animal. Thank you. If I may, I was wondering, is the cabin next to Mr. Asogi's currently occupied? What is that? I cannot read that. Susato-san, did you understand that? It sounded like da. I think it's probably Russian for yes or no. Genius. It is not permitted to visit other cabins without invitation. Oh, so we need an invitation? Sounds like there is somebody in the next door cabin at least. Yes, it's tantalizing. Okay, passenger in the next door cabin. Could you tell us who's traveling in the cabin next to Mr. Asogi's? His name is Mr. Grimsby Roylott. He's a very important Western gentleman. A Western gentleman. Do not think about it. He has nothing to do with murder of student boy. How can you be so sure about that? Mr. Roylott is authentic Western gentleman. Such a man would have no interest in lowly student from insignificant Far East. Damn, they're so like discriminatory. Discriminatory. Yeah, they're so discriminatory in this game. But we're also talking about like old times, so that was harsh. Could you tell us when Mr. Roylott came on board? That is not your business. Come to think of it, even though we've been at sea for 2 weeks now and I've been in Kazuma's cabin the entire time, I've never once heard anything from the next door cabin, or even felt like there's anyone there. Well, presumably, since this gentleman is occupying one of the first-class cabins, he must be rather important. Is that right? That is not your business. Damn. Are you on watch here all the time, Seaman Stroganoff? Duh, all the time. So criminals like you cannot come in or get out. I wonder, could you tell us anything about last night at all? It is sad about student boy. Were you on watch last night as well? Of course. And did you notice anything at the time? The whistling sound? Anything unusual? The whistling. Oh, what is that? How do I read that? The H in Russian probably isn't like the H sound that we. Susato-san, did you understand that? It was clearly no. Oh, okay. I saw nothing unusual, nothing at all. And you didn't hear any strange noises or sense anything was wrong in some way? I said no. Sorry. Oh, he angry. I'm not so sure. I could have sworn that he wouldn't catch my eye for a moment there. Oh, he's hiding something. Uh-oh. But that other seaman, like the crewmate, also was acting a little sus too. This is enough. I cannot say more now. Oh. It is time for me to report to Captain. You must return to cabin. Yes, alright. Bulkhead to second class area is staying locked at all times. You escape when the lobster whistles on top of the mountain, or as English say, when the pigs fly. Yes, I understand. So he's just saying that it's impossible for me to escape. Good. Now we can investigate this area properly, shall we? Okay. Definitely. Yay. Search time. Map. This looks like a plan of the SS Burya. It shows each deck. Look. The Burya is a large-scale steamship with a triple-skinned hull. What a marvel of engineering. It's been playing on my mind for a while now, actually, but how is it that such a huge lump of metal doesn't just sink to the bottom of the ocean? Oh, that's really quite simple, Naruhodo-san. It is? Well, consider the Japanese archipelago. The islands of Japan? Yes, they're not metal, but they are enormous lumps of earth, many, many times larger than the ship. And they don't sink, dude. They've been floating happily on the sea since the gods created them. Well, I suppose so. That's just... Actually, I don't really know how ships work. I don't know exactly how it works. It's probably like the shape. I think the shape of the ship, like how it's, you know, like pointy at the bottom, like keeps it afloat because of some buoyancy thing. I think there's also like air, like there's also pockets of air to keep it afloat as well, to give it that, you know, buoyancy force. I can barely remember my physics classes. Okay, let's look at the books here. What is that? The book on the top of the table there really is huge. There's a pen with it too. Yes, I'm sure that's the ship's log. Shall we have a little look through it? This is probably like their telephone, right? They don't have telephones on the ship, so they use these to communicate, maybe. The writing is so neat and precise. Every detail about the voyage has been meticulously recorded. You wouldn't expect a rough and ready sailor to have such beautiful handwriting. Anyway, look here. Last night's log is mostly blank. Presumably that means there was nothing to report. Or it could mean that he wasn't there. Okay, let's look at the door maybe. That's the way to the second class area of the ship. Is something wrong? I was thinking about making a run for it. Just for a moment. Things aren't exactly going well for me. I might be wrong, but imagine the moment you reach for the handle of the door. I'm gonna get clapped. That burly seaman would surely shoot you dead. Oh dear, I'm sorry. Perhaps I went a little too far there. No, I started it with my talk of running away. There's no way I could run away while Kazuma's death remains a mystery anyway. Okay. I've investigated... Okay. So nothing here. What about this? Why not? Small... The light? This one's off. Eh? Is that not out of place? I would think this is out of place. Like, why is that light not working? Or maybe I just think too much. I'm an overthinker. Okay, let's look around. What is this little fire alarm? What do you think this is? It's a very pleasing shape, isn't it? That's the emergency alarm. It's probably best not to touch it. Oh, an alarm. It says, press only in times of emergency. It looks as though it sets alarm bells ringing all over the ship and brings the vessel to complete stop. Wow. Oh, this I have to see. What are you doing, Naruhodo-san? You mustn't touch it. But this is an emergency situation. Just look at these handcuffs. You know full well that's not what the alarm is for. If you were to bring this vessel to a standstill for no good reason, you'd be in an even worse situation. Ah, I wish everything would just stop. The ship included. If you have to do something foolish, at least make it something that doesn't affect anyone else. Damn, that's harsh. Okay, caution. Oh, okay. Can we go in there? The lights are off. What is this little thingy at the bottom left? A trap for catching mice. Huh? Okay. Why is there just like one in the middle of nowhere? I don't think there will be rats on a ship. In the first class cabin of all places. Yes, we have plenty of those back home in Japan. Although they seem to be using a lump of chalk or something as bait. Chalk? What is that? It's like a ball. What? Let me see. Yes, I think that's what is called cheese. Oh. It's made from the milk of cows. Also, Japan didn't have cheese, I guess, back then. Cheese? I wonder what that tastes like. You can't eat it, Naruhodo-san. The trap will snap shut on your fingers. Really? But... I suppose you're right. You weren't actually going to try it, were you? All I've had to eat for the past couple of weeks is Kazuma's leftovers. You don't know how hungry I've been in that wardrobe, man. He's been through a lot. Damn. It's like he chose... You know, usually people choose to do things for, like, benefits. But I feel like he chose to be a stowaway, but didn't really get much out of it. Like, so far at least. I think the original plan was to study in England, but man, it doesn't seem like he's getting like the better end of the stick. For you, I'll find a little snack for you later. Okay. That's the mouse trap. Oh, I guess the other thing to look at will be the door. This is it. This is the cabin next to ours. The one the ventilator connects to. Yes, the ventilator from which Kazuma-sama wrote that he saw a speckled band emerging. Maybe whoever is in this cabin can help solve that particular mystery. Let's ask. Knock knock. No answer. We're out of luck, it seems. There's no one in there to help with our inquiries. How annoying. Ah! What was that? It came from inside the cabin. Such a high-pitched scream. It must have been a woman. Stand aside. Oh, it's our detector. I'm about to break the door down. Mr. Sholmes! I shan't be stopped. When the fit is on me, I revel in kicking doors off their hinges. Please wait, Mr. Sholmes. The door doesn't appear to be bolted. It doesn't? Then how the deuce can I dispatch this muscular urge? What prey can I kick? I think we should go in. There's no time to think about stress relief. This guy is... 9 January. SS Beria, first class cabin. Number 2. What if there's another... Like... Oh! Wait, isn't that the guy from the newspaper? Who are you? A Western gentleman? This man looks Russian to me. We heard a woman scream. A woman? What does he have? A pair of scissors? That is so creepy. Don't be absurd. As you can see, there's nobody but me in this cabin. The wardrobe is open. Okay. There's a trunk here. Books are... Oh, wait. The books are flipped, though. Just like the previous room. True, this old man appears to be the only person in here. But in that case, who just screamed? What about the bottom of the table? Like the tablecloth? Get out now. Get out, all of you, now. Please excuse the intrusion, but you're Mr. Grimsby Roylott, I believe. Yes, that's me. And you are. I'm the one and only, the actual Sherlock Sholmes. You've heard of me, no doubt. No. I'm a great detective among great detectives. One who adorns the covers of popular magazines, no less. So I assure you, you may trust me completely. This is a con man. The man uses that magazine like a business card. A detective? I do not trust detectives. We distinctly heard a scream emanating from within these walls. Wait, if the scream came from here, but it's connected by that thing? What if the scream is in the other room? But there wouldn't appear to be a lady concealing herself within the wardrobe this time. What about in the bag? So might I be so bold as to ask you to open that small traveling case? Wah, don't be stupid. How could anyone fit in a small trunk like that? Well, it's quite fashionable these days, is it not? Traveling inside one's trunk. Don't look at me. Oh. Oh my. Did you see that, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes, the case just shook. Leave now. Otherwise, I'll call the steward. So this is Kazuma's neighbor, Mr. Grimsby Roylott. There's no doubt about it. This strange Russian man is hiding something. I couldn't agree more. Let's see if we can find more clues. Let's see if we can find some clues before that burly sailor returns. Okay, I guess we can look around. Talk to him, maybe? Let's look around first. I want to look around. Like, what is he doing? What do you think you're doing? Ah! This is my cabin. Get out. Could we just have a quick look inside your traveling case, perhaps? No! Ah, what a pity. I think we're out of luck. I think you're right. There doesn't appear to be anything more we can do. I agree, but there may be someone else who can help. What is he doing? This guy is like... He's like a little kid. Perhaps that great detective could get somewhere with Mr. Roylott. Okay, I guess we gotta talk to him. Do you have a moment, please, Mr. Sholmes? You need only address me as Sholmes. That's what I just did, isn't it? Well, Mr. Sholmes, what were you doing in there? Why, I was resting, of course. Resting? Indeed, I was contemplating our sea voyage from the confines of the wardrobe whilst waiting. Waiting for the inevitable time that you would need to call my great powers of detection into service. My man's a detector. He's a sensor. Oh. And it would seem that the hour is upon us now. The time has come. Am I mistaken? Well, no, actually, you're spot on for once. Observe closely. Our Russian host in this cabin, Mr. Roylott, is clearly trying to hide something. Yeah, we can see that too. And do you know what is the most effective weapon to use against a Russian hiding a secret? Please, please don't be... Oh my god. I hope there's nothing like... Why, the truth, of course, okay. It should be pointed out that such methods are not exclusively for the Russians. Right, and what do you mention that? Can you imagine how the Russian will react when the secret he guards so closely is exposed? Would you like to witness it? Oh yes, please. Well then, what you are about to see may well astound you. He's going to kneel on the ground and just be like, please, please, please. For I am about to apply my great detective's greatly admired great deduction to the case. Okay, great was used like 3 times. Okay, let's see what he does. Oh, man with scissors is just kind of scary. Could this man be a more hackneyed portrayal of a dubious Russian, I ask you? What? From time to time, it occurs to me. Is the fellow dubious on account of his Russianness? Or Russian on account of his dubiousness? This guy is talking so much trash, like rubbish. I really don't think either of those things should be occurring to you or anyone. That's right. And Mr. Sholmes, I know this man's beard and dark glasses are hard to ignore, especially on first meeting, but I once read, it is a capital mistake to theorize before you have all the evidence. It biases the judgment. Shh! I must have complete silence. What is he doing? What are you doing? Why are you peering at my face like that? Is it a fake beard? Ah, just as I thought, yes. I have quite made up my mind now. Is he gonna try and pull the guy's beard off or something? I don't know. There can be no other explanation that accommodates all the facts. Mr. Roylott, I have reached 2 incontrovertible conclusions. What do you mean? Number 1. Your true identity is that of a villain. Using those shears, you're about to end the existence of something most dear. He has something tucked into his pocket too. Is that a newspaper? Are you not? Huh? And number 2, the other conclusion I have drawn. You are, at this very moment, no less, in the midst of committing a most grievous crime. Beneath that beard, your mouth quivers with nervous tension as you realize you have been discovered. Does it not? It's like he has to confirm it. He issues the observation and then he has to confirm it. Do you agree? Oh, Naruhodo-san, I never imagined I would witness one of Mr. Shom's great deductions with my own eyes. That was a great deduction. Nothing can deceive Mr. Shom's. In a single glance, he can deduce all there is to know about a person. What? What ineffable twaddle. Oh yes, I've read about it countless times in the adventures of Herlock Sholmes, and now I've experienced the astonishing impact of his great deduction firsthand. It's like a dream come true. I can hardly believe it, but all the color has drained from Mr. Roylot's face. It looks like somehow both of Mr. Shom's conclusions were right. How could you? How could I possibly know such things, you wish to say? Very well then, I shall elucidate. I shall explain how it was that I arrived at this pair of conclusions. So do I cordially invite you upon a journey of logical discovery. Let us board the train of reasoning. Put plainly, let us work through my deductions together. The great deduction. Wait, do I have to do it for him? Oh my god. Okay, topic 1, old man's identity. What is this nonsense? So, the dubious-looking Russian, Mr. Roylott. Obviously, what catches the eye in the first place is the case. Oh, there's even a spotlight. It's an enormous pair of shears in your hand. Now we ask ourselves, what could you possibly want with such an implement? The answer, of course, is staring us in the face. You are on the verge of using the shears to cut away the copious beard you sport. What kind of deduction is this? Now, moving on. Oh, this guy has special effects going on. The question then begged is this. Why would you desire to rid yourself of this magnificent beard, Mr. Roylott? Once again, the answer is plain. We have clear evidence to shed light on the matter. Oh, the newspaper, so he's trying to hide his identity? But he doesn't even have like a beard that's similar to that though. Regard, if you will, this morning's newspaper, in particular the fascinating front page article. Which it would appear you have read also, Mr. Roylott. I'm sure it needs no further clarification. The evidence that reveals your true identity is the article about the revolutionary. Doesn't even look similar though. In translation, the headline reads, Revolutionary villain Bolshevik flees Russia via Shanghai. As you cannot fail to observe, the subject of the article possesses an extremely copious beard. Having noted the article yourself, you decided to remove your incriminating facial hair before it gave you away. In short, your true identity is beyond doubt. You are the fearsome Russian revolutionary himself, villain Bolshevik. Well, that's what he said about us as well. This guy is just... What in the world? That I've heard of you myself, you understand. Okay. A revolutionary on the run. Okay. But that's what he said about us too. Wrongdoing. Okay. Now, as for my second conclusion. You are, at this very moment, on the brink of committing a most grievous crime. And the proof of this crime? Over there. In the case? Oh yes, Mr. Roylott. Taken unawares, people have a propensity to let their eyes stray, you see. Ah, and I assure you, the eyes speak so much more eloquently and honestly than the mouth. The answer we seek lies where the furtive glance falls. The proof of your crime sits before our very eyes. Yes, that traveling case. It is time, I think, that the case be opened and its contents laid bare. No, I refuse. What could you possibly be concealing inside, we ask? By my estimation, a young she's not gonna fit in there. Perhaps one slight enough to fit therein. Don't be absurd. And what, pray, would be the identity of this young lady in the traveling case? Dear me. We are not well suited to a life of crime, are we? You're careless. I don't know how to read that one. Kudoil? I tried. Betrays you. Once again, we need only follow your furtive glance to find the answer. Yes, the reason you refuse to open your traveling case can equally be found in the pages of this newspaper. For there is another, most stimulating article. Oh yeah? If we turn from the fleeing revolutionary to the back page. There. Oh? Renowned prima ballerina of the Novovich Ballet disappears from Shanghai. Oh, okay. Such a headline can lead us to but one conclusion. Your crime is that of abduction. And according to the article, the young lady's name is Nikolina Pavlova. Okay. Kidnapping of a young ballerina. Okay. I like how he just like found it on the newspaper and just put 2 and 2 together like that. Thus concludes Herlock Sholmes' great deduction of this Russian enigma. Elemensky. He's so nonsense so far. Susato-san, that wasn't one of the great deductions I've been hearing about so much about, was it? Well, the stories are full of Mr. Sholmes' brilliant deductions, you know. But that did seem a little different somehow. Excuse me, Mr. Sholmes, could you come over here a moment? Pray, what can I do for you? It's about your deductions, would you mind? Not at all, go on. Well, to start with, there's the newspaper article. I think we had the same discussion before, but... These two men look nothing like each other. Ah yes, I recall our discussion earlier, and at the time I believe I told you that the man is a revolutionary. Well able to revolutionize his own appearance. I'm dead. What is going on? In fairness to Mr. Sholmes, Mr. Roylott does look more like this man than you do. That's not the point. Another thing, the part about him abducting the ballerina, indeed, a truly startling revelation. At first glance, the case would appear too small to accommodate a young woman. Or is it because she does ballet that she's flexible? Not just at first glance, it is too small, clearly. You'd be lucky to fit a 5-year-old child into that case, even if you pushed really hard. Now, like Ryunosuke, the voice of reason in this whole series. I don't suppose the missing ballerina is a 5-year-old child, is she? You mean you don't know? No, the young lady is 15. No, I didn't know. How could I? Well, if she's 15, then 10 years worth of her would be poking out from the case. Is that how you think about it? What, 15 minus 5 equals 10? Some years ago, I read something pertinent, I believe. A trope of men consuming vinegar daily in order to promote a certain litheness in their bodies. Vinegar? For such a sour bunch, it would surely be simplicity itself to contort oneself into the confines of that small case. That doesn't even make sense. Oh dear, you might be thinking of contortionists in the circus, Mr. Sholmes. This whole thing is turning into a circus. Mr. Naruhodo, something's occurred to me about Mr. Sholmes' deductions just now. I think his powers of observation are, well, magical. His eyes cut to the heart of a matter almost instantly. It's just where he directs his attention and his logic that seems a little off. Your idea of a little may be little of itself, Miss Susato. It's just one or two keywords in his deductions that seem to let him down. So I was wondering if we might perhaps tactfully switch them for alternatives. What do you think? Switch some keywords in his deductions? Yes, but very tactfully. I feel sure if we could do that, we'd unlock the true genius of Mr. Sholmes' great deduction. Precisely the thought that was going through my own mind. This man is a lot of work. At times, I wonder how anyone puts up with me. It's not that funny. And you, my good fellow. Sorry? Take a moment to look at your wrists. My wrists? What did... Huh? Where are your handcuffs? Huh? How did... I felt they might... I felt they may hinder your ability to follow me in our dance of deduction. I don't believe it. Mr. Sholmes, you're a marvel. So, the handcuffs are his and he put it on us? Don't worry, I shall restore the shackles to your wrists when we are finished. I'm not worried. In fact, I'd rather stay like this. So, let us begin. Herlock Sholmes is proud to present his logic and reasoning spectacular. Okay. Oh, here we go again. Oh, now it's our turn. Course correction. Hold it, Mr. Sholmes. Topic 1. Old man's identity. Oh, so we have to find the part that... Obviously, what catches the eye in the first place. This is a new gameplay section. It's an enormous pair of shears in your hand. Now we ask ourselves, what could you possibly want with such an implement? The answer, of course, is staring us in the face. You are on the verge of using the shears to cut away the copious beard you sport. Okay. I'm not sure. Would you really use shears like that to cut off a beard? I doubt that's something I'll ever have to worry about. It doesn't quite sit right with me, though. Doesn't seem to be sitting right with Mr. Roylott either. Which means I suppose that the deduction is wrong. Let's try to switch a keyword here in Naruhodo-san and see if it helps matters. Alright, but how? I think we should start by taking a long, hard look at Mr. Roylott. Wonder if it's really his beard that he intended to use those shears on. Is it the mustache? Exactly. If we do manage to find something that fits to the sense of Mr. Sholmes' deductions better, then what? Then I'll leave the rest in your capable hands, Naruhodo-san. Why am I the one to do something about this? Well, anyway, let's see if there's anything we could even use to switch around that last sentence. What exactly was Mr. Roylott gonna use those enormous shears for? Ding, ding, ding. Copious beard. Copious beard. Copious beard. Oh, you can look around. Oh, his hair. What if it was the hair? Thick hat? No, I don't think it's the hat. Why would you use a pair of shears on a hat? Maybe it was something in the case? No way it's the hat, right? Why would he cut his hat? Tablecloth? This scarf? Golden locks. Wait, what if it's the... What if this is the ballerina? What if this is the ballerina wearing like a... Yeah, what if this is a ballerina, like the ballerina that ran away, but she was like wearing a disguise or something? What the? Oh, what's this? It looks like a cascade of stunning golden locks. No, no, no. The color is not the point. The point is, what's it doing on the back of Mr. Roylot's head? And how is it growing out from underneath his thick black hair? Oh yes, that's true. So it's stunningly beautiful and stunningly surprising. Something's definitely not right here. Present. Okay. This is probably it. I think the ballerina is disguising herself here. So that was probably like the girl's scream that we heard. You're on the verge of using the shears to cut... Oh, now it's Ryunosuke. You're on the verge... I guess the removal of the handcuffs is so you can have all these motions. You're on the verge of using the shears to cut away the golden locks you sport. Indeed, you have identified the precise detail I was intending to expose. Yeah, right, brother. Such lush golden hair certainly does not befit an old man. You're not a man at all, you're a woman. And judging from the length and sheen of your hair, one still very much in her youth. Oh no. Wouldn't they be able to tell from the voice? If only I had managed to cut off my hair, no one would have suspected. The question then begged is this: why would you desire to rid yourself of these magnificent locks? Once again, the answer is plain. We have clear evidence to shed light on the matter. Okay, I'm sure it needs no further clarification. The evidence that reveals your true identity. Oh my god, okay. We had to fix this mistake here too. Well, that was a shock. I had no idea that old man was really a young woman in disguise, did you? What? Why are you staring at me like that? Yes, it was a surprise. Naruhodo-san, you're enjoying this, aren't you? Sorry? You look like you're in your element as you dance around the room deducing the facts of Mr. Sholmes. I'm just doing what we agreed. I'm not having fun or anything. This is strictly business, not strictly... Yes, I understand. Say no more. Well, anyway, let's focus on this next part of Mr. Sholmes' deduction, shall we? The evidence that he's picked out doesn't fit the facts at all now. No, that's true, given that Mr. Roylott is actually a woman. Exactly. He, or rather she, can't possibly be this merciless revolutionary. Sorry, I can't English anymore. It's like 3 AM in the morning. Oh, it's 4 already. Okay, I suppose it's because the deduction as a whole has taken a different direction now. Yes. Let's switch the evidence for something else. Something that fits the facts as we now understand them. For some reason, this woman needed to try to hide her true identity. I feel as though I've either read or heard about a young woman in a situation like that recently. Alright, I'll do my best. It's the newspaper. We gotta examine the back. This is interesting. Have you found something relevant, Naruhodo-san? Well, no, I mean, it looks like it might be interesting. I can't read a single word, I'm afraid. No, nor can I. But look at this picture. Perhaps it's about a beautiful young Russian princess, do you think? She is very pretty, isn't she? I suppose you enjoy articles like this, do you? I don't know. I can't make any sense of it. Ah, I'm glad you've noticed this article. Allow me to give you a short summary of its contents. Oh, thank you. He pops up everywhere, this Mr. Sholmes. It's about the disappearance of a young lady last night. Renowned prima ballerina of the Novovik Ballet disappears from Shanghai. During a performance in Shanghai, the famous dancer was reported missing. She's of course the talented young Nikolina Pavlova. What are Russian names so hard to remember? It would appear the woman was in costume when she was found to be missing from her dressing room, wearing the diamond tiara you see pictured, which is worth some 20,000 rubles. Oh, how much is 20,000 rubles? I have no idea, but I'm quite sure it must be an unbelievable sum of money. Susato's son's eyes are shining like diamonds themselves. The tiara is the property of the Novovik Ballet. It would seem the director is beside herself with worry. Yes, I'm not surprised. The company is most anxious to recover both Miss Pavlova and the valuable tiara. They've requested international assistance at all ports with sailings to Great Britain. Could this be another case of a Russian fleeing his or her country? It does seem to be the Russian thing to do. I'm not even going to dignify that with a response, Mr. Naruto. Okay, article about ballerina. Okay, we got the evidence now. Now we can present it. Let's go back. Okay, we present this instead. Present.
Yes!
Yes! The evidence that reveals your true identity is the ballerina thingy. The evidence that reveals your true identity is, of course, the article about the ballerina. That's right. You've hit the nail on the head. Renowned prima ballerina of the Novovik Ballet disappears from Shanghai. It would appear we are finally able to address you by your true name. Yes, because your true identity is that of the Novovik Ballet prima ballerina, Nikolina Pavlova. Yeah. Ah. They always have like these huge reactions. Oh my god, that is so dangerous though. Oh. Oh. She's taking out the disguise. Oh, she's pretty though. You're right. My real name is Nina. I mean, Nikolina Pavlova. But please, I beg you, don't tell anyone. Oh. A ballerina on the run. Kidnapping of a young... Okay, so it wasn't kidnapping. She was running away. Why... Did she steal the tiara? Is she doing something? I don't know what's happening. Now, as for my second conclusion, you are, at this very moment, on the brink of committing a most grievous crime. And the proof of this crime? Over there. Oh yes, Miss Pavlova. Taken unawares, people have a propensity to let their eyes stray, you see. Ah, and I assure you, the eyes speak so much more eloquently and honestly than the mouth. The answer we seek lies where the furtive glance falls. The proof of your crime sits before our very eyes. Yes, that traveling case. Oh. This woman is a ballerina, and she's right in front of our eyes, so clearly she can't be inside that traveling case as well. No, that's right. It seems she wasn't abducted at all. In which case, what is the crime this young woman is apparently committing? I can see I'm going to have to step in and fix the great detective's mistake again. You seem to look pleased, Naruhodo-san. Do you like the idea of another chance to dance around with Mr. Schultz? Stop it. Anyway, there must be something else here that shows what this woman is up to. Okay. Time to look. Oh, there we go. Wow, look at this dazzling tiara. I've never seen anything like it. Are those real diamonds, do you think? Oh, Naruhodo-san, try it on. Oh, what? Me? Isn't it usually girls who wear tiaras? Wouldn't you like to try it on? Oh no, I couldn't possibly. It's far too beautiful. Why does this tiara look familiar? I feel like I've seen it somewhere recently. In the newspaper. We got him.
Yes!
We got him. Tiara. But why did the case shake though? There's probably something else in there. The proof of your crime is surely this tiara. Oh. I believe this tiara is worn on stage by dancers in the Novavic Ballet, is it not? Indeed, it would appear to be identical to the tiara pictured here in this newspaper article. And if the reporting is to be believed, it's an item worth 20,000 rubles. In summary, the crime you have committed is theft. Oh no! Yes, you left your ballet troupe, unlawfully taking their precious tiara with you. Ah! It's like the reactions of the characters in this game. I have no one, no family, no friends. I'm all alone and I need money. But I did not steal the tiara. It was a present from, how do you say, an Earl of Prussia. It belongs to me. This girl is only 15 years old and she's run away all by herself. She must have been extremely lonely. Alright, I will tell you everything. There's no point to hiding it now. Well, come, let us not be hasty. What? There remains one unsolved mystery about you. Mystery? What do you mean? It's the case. You have staunchly refused to open this traveling case of yours in our presence. It is reasonable to conclude, therefore, that there exists some reason why you wish it to remain closed. It's probably like, because they were mentioning like the speckled band, right? I think there's a snake in there, probably. Is that not so, Miss Pavlova? Oh, my dear girl, there is no sense playing games with me. Nothing escapes my attention. I feel like a lot escaped his attention though. Indeed, I have a very good idea of the contents of your case, even before I have ever laid eyes on them. What is in there then? Dear me, we are not well suited to a life of crime, are we? You're careless. Okay. Once again, we need only follow your furtive glance to find the answer. Oh. Yes, the reason why you refuse to open your case is written on the books on the shelf. This man is just spouting nonsense. He's completely changed tack with his deduction now. I think Mr. Jones is adapting his logic to the changing circumstances, don't you? Maybe, but why has he suddenly brought the bookshelf into all of this? It's just a wild guess, surely. Oh, do you think so? Well, it doesn't seem likely that the reason why this young woman doesn't want to open her case would have been written in a book that doesn't even belong to her. Yes, that's true, but still, Miss Pavlova certainly did cast her eyes in that direction. I noticed it myself. Then there has to be another reason why she won't open her case. And it must be somewhere in the same area, if that's where her gaze was involuntarily drawn. I agree. That's the only answer. Whatever she has hidden inside that case should be revealed by following her gaze in the direction of the bookcase. Okay. The reason why you refuse to open your case is written on the books on her shelf. Why won't she open the case? The picture? The rules of passage? Oh, because you can't keep a pet. You can't bring a pet onto the ship. Okay. These are the rules of passage for travel aboard the SS Beria. Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in their cabins. So that must mean... Okay, I'm thinking about this because I can already guess that it's an animal in there. But yeah, I think this will be like the logical conclusion that there's probably like a weapon or something dangerous in there. Or pets. Yeah. There was exactly the same notice in our cabin too. I wonder what happens if you break the rules. Oh dear, I'm sure the punishment would be severe in Naruhodo-san. You'll probably be left to drift in the freezing cold ocean. I don't think it's Should be that bad. They'll confiscate it or something, maybe. Or shut inside a tiny wardrobe for days on end. Isn't that what I experienced? So I've actually been serving time for weeks now, have I? Okay, present that. Ching. Yes, the reason why you refuse to open your case is written in the rules of passage. Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in their cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden. Inside that case of yours is something forbidden from carriage on this vessel. That is the real reason why you refuse to open it, thus revealing its contents. Oh, there we go. As we've seen, the trunk wobbles from time to time. But no weapon or other dangerous item will move of its own accord. Which leaves but one possibility, Miss Pavlova. Inside your traveling case... Ayo is the last item listed as forbidden in the vessel's rules of passage. A pet! Ah! Okay. Possession of a prohibited animal. Okay, that's the wrongdoing. Deduction completes. Yay. So clearly, you aren't who you said you were. No, I am not Grimsby Roylott. My real name is Nikolina Pavlova. Everything you said was correct. You absconded during one of your ballet company's performances in order to escape your homeland. Later that same night, you stole aboard this vessel. Which couldn't have been easy. The Burya is a huge steamship with a vast crew. Could you really have snuck on board without being noticed? In order to obscure your true identity, you somewhat recklessly took the guise of an old gentleman, and you intended to sever all links with your past by severing your long hair. Yet to a woman, hair is no trifling matter. My personal recommendation is to leave well alone. So, if it was just you about to cut off your own hair, who was it that let out the scream we heard from outside the cabin? That veritable tinkling of a bell? Why, none other than this young lady, naturally. More like a full set of pipes, if you ask me. I was so scared when I ran away in Shanghai. I was sure they would come looking for me. That's why I decided to, how do you say, disgust myself? So no one would recognize me. Disgust yourself? As a result, you transform yourself into that questionable old man? I see. I put on the fur hat and fake beard. Then just before you came in here, I saw in the newspaper. Right on the page, there was a picture of me. I was so frightened, I couldn't stop from screaming. I knew that if I didn't change my appearances completely, they would find me. So I decided to cut all my hair as fastly as possible. I picked up the scissors in my hand and... At that precise moment, we walked in through the annoyingly unlocked cabin door. Annoyingly, he wanted to kick the door down. Things happen like that sometimes, don't they? Things do indeed happen like that from time to time. Are those two even talking about the same thing? There's just one more thing I'd like to know. What's inside the case? What exactly do you have inside your traveling case? You were right. It is my dear friend inside. My only friend in the whole world. Aww. Please, don't tell anyone. If the captain finds out, if you say to any of the crew, your secret is safe with us, I assure you. But in return, You must tell us, in as much detail as you can muster, about the events of last night. Yes, alright. I will tell you. Well, Mr. Naruhodo? Wasn't it something? Mr. Shom's great deduction? It was certainly something, yes. I'm just not entirely sure what. But at least Miss Pavlova has agreed to tell us what she knows. That's incredible. Indeed, it is incredible. And one more thing. Oh, yes? What? Observe your wrists. Oh my... You put them back on. My... Ah, your hands are cuffed again. What? But how? True to my word, I've restored your shackles. When and why? There is still a shadow of guilt cast over you, Mr. Naruhodo. I'm sorry to say, it can't be helped at the moment. Can't it, really? Anyway, let's listen to what Miss Pavlova has to say. I can't go on not knowing. I have to find out what the speckled band that Kazuma-sama wrote about in his diary really was. Okay. Let's continue next time. I don't know when next time will be. It might be a long way away, or I might just, you know, like do another recording just for fun when I have the time to. But yeah, I think this is where I'll stop for today because I think the recording has already been on for about 1 hour now. It's like 1 hour and 30 minutes already. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this with me. It was really, it's really interesting so far. It does feel really slow because I think this is also like one of the first few episodes. So they're trying to guide like new players into everything as well. Yeah, but it was really fun. I did enjoy it a lot. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. And I hope you'll look forward to more of this from me as well. I'll try to record more when I can instead of just only leaving it to when I'm, you know, like not physically able to stream and stuff like that. We'll see. I'll try to record as many as I can because I do genuinely enjoy this game quite a lot. Hope you guys do too. Yeah, let's play this again sometime soon. 4:24 a.m. already. Okay, see you again soon. Have a wonderful rest of your week. I will definitely, at the time that you're watching this, I'll probably be catching up with you really soon. Probably like Thursday stream. Maybe if I feel like it, I might even do like a Tuesday or a Wednesday stream. We'll see how it goes. But for now, yeah, I think I will see you really soon. I know it's just Monday, but all the best for the rest of the week. And I hope you all got some good rest during the weekend as well. Please make sure to rest well tonight as well, especially if you have something early tomorrow too. Rest well, sleep well, eat well, drink well, guys. Make sure to drink lots of water. I should really do that as well. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for coming by. Thank you. Had a very fun time today. Hope you enjoyed this recording, and I hope it was helpful to you today too. Bye-bye. Take care. My throat is so tired. Take care, guys. See you all soon. Okay? Good night. You can't see it, but I'm waving to you.